Hey everyone, this is 4.6, congruence in right triangles. Okay, your do now is to list the 4 types of triangle congruency and demonstrate each using the triangles below. Feel free to pause and give this a go, and then resume the video when you're ready to go over your work. Alright, the 4 types of congruency are side, 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 angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Well, side, 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 looks like that. Side, angle, side, side, angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Whoops, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle, and this one is angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Okay? 2 new vocabulary terms today. Your hypotenuse is the side that is opposite the right angle. It is the longest side of the triangle. Okay, so here's your right angle, and opposite would be your hypotenuse. Okay, your legs are the 2 shorter sides of the triangle. Okay, those are your legs. Make sure we get these definitions down and we'll move on. All right, your hypotenuse leg theorem. This is another way to prove triangles congruent. If the hypotenuse and one leg of one right triangle are congruent to the hypotenuse and a leg of another right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. All right, very important that this only applies to right triangles, okay? So make sure you fill in these red words and resume the video when you are ready. There are 3 conditions for the hypotenuse leg theorem. The first is that there needs to be 2 right triangles. The second is that the triangles need to have congruent hypotenuse. And third is that there is 1 pair of congruent legs. Okay, so make sure we have 1, 2, and 3 down. All right, using the hypotenuse leg theorem, on the basketball backboard brackets are shown below. Angle ADC and angle BDC are right angles. AC is congruent to BC. Are ADC and BDC congruent? So we have to transfer this information over as our givens on the next page. For you, it's on the bottom. So first is angle ADC and angle BDC are right angles. And next they tell us that side AC is congruent to BC. Okay, we are trying to prove that triangle ADC is congruent to triangle BDC. So your givens, we're going to put here angle ADC and angle BDC are right angles, which was a given. Also, AC is congruent to BC, was a given. Okay. Next, you notice if you look at this image, we have AC being congruent to BC. We have our right angles here. Okay, the last thing that we need actually is that these 2 triangles share a side, DC. DC is congruent to DC, and that's the reflexive property. Okay. Okay. Well, if you look, we have the hypotenuse congruent to a hypotenuse. We have a leg DC congruent to a leg, okay? And that's all we need. So now we can say that triangle ADC is congruent to triangle BDC because hypotenuse leg is congruent to hypotenuse leg. Okay. 4 and 5 are just more examples, so let's give these a go. BE bisects AD at C. Given. Then we have AB is perpendicular to BC, and we have DE is perpendicular to EC, which are givens. Okay, since they are perpendicular, they create these right angles. Okay, so let's jump into, actually we have one more given and then we'll talk about it. AB is congruent to DE, which is shown with our congruency. So back to those right angles. I'm going to say angle ABC and angle DEC are right angles. Okay, it's the definition of perpendicular lines. Okay, now we can go back to this word bisect. Okay, since BE bisects AD, that means AC is congruent to CD. And what do you notice? Those are the hypotenuse, okay? So AC is congruent to CD, definition of bisector. Okay. We have our leg here. We have our hypotenuse here. So we can say that the triangles are congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC because hypotenuse leg is congruent to hypotenuse leg. Okay. Last one. Start with your givens. CD is congruent to EA. And AD is a perpendicular bisector of CE. Okay, since it is a perpendicular bisector, that means it creates right angles. Okay, so we can say that angle CBD and angle ABE are right angles. Definition of perpendicular bisector. Okay, so we have the hypotenuse here. We've said that they are right angles. And now we just need a leg. Okay. Now, since it is also a bisector, okay, that means that it is cutting CE in half. So CB is congruent to BE. That's the definition of a bisector. So here's your leg. So now we can say the two triangles are congruent because hypotenuse leg is congruent to hypotenuse leg. Okay. For your last one, you're just going to tell me if the pair is congruent or if they are not congruent, okay? If so, write the congruency statement. Okay, think back to what we just learned. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to submit your work and check in for a test.